the Church denies. All of this has taken place under the watchful eye of Archbishop Welby, but perhaps his greatest failure is the dwindling attendance figures at church. As the population of Britain grows by millions of people, the number of people attending church is nosediving. In fact, weekly attendance figures were down by 200,000 people in 2022 to just 654,000. Perhaps Mr Welby will take comfort in the knowledge that attendances at mosques around the country have risen instead. If Archbishop Justin Welby was in charge of a business, he would have been sacked and quite possibly put under investigation. I wonder if it is time that that happened. We approached the Church of England for comment, and they failed to get back to us. Of course, not everyone in the Church of England prescribes to Welby's woke view of the world. Former chaplain of Derbyshire's Trent College, Dr Bernard Randal, appeared at the Employment Appeal Tribunal earlier today after he was sacked for delivering a sermon that questioned gender ideology. Unsurprisingly, he was abandoned by the Church of England. He's even found himself reported to the terrorist watchdog Prevent. I'm very pleased to say that Dr Randal joins me now. Thank you very much. Could you just explain exactly what happened to you, please?
Well, to cut a very long story short, I was the chaplain in a school, and a pupil asked me to preach on how come they were told they had to accept the LGBT stuff in a Christian school. I thought that was a fair question. So I said, ultimately, no, you don't have to accept anybody else's ideas. You make up your own minds. And so on topics like the marriage being between a man and a woman, biological sex being real, gender identity not making perfect sense, therefore can't be entirely true. I said, you know, you may adopt the Church's position on that and respect the people you disagree with, but you make up your own mind, for which, as you say, I was reported to Prevent, the anti-terror watchdog, secular safeguarding authorities, the Teaching Regulation Agency, Disclosure and Barring Service, all of whom eventually cleared me, but I lost my job at the school, and that's why there's legal action ongoing. We had a hearing today, as you say. Unfortunately, they decided they need to put the case off because there's another legal case touching on similar stuff going to the Court of Appeal in October. So they said we have to wait for that one. So I need to wait another year before I can even get a date for the hearing to hear my appeal. So by the time it has been heard, there's every possibility that we could be 6 or 7 years after the sermon for me to get justice, which is a difficult time to go through.
It's an incredibly powerful sermon, to be fair. What do you make of Justin Welby in his current role? I've obviously rattled off quite a few things there. I mean, you've had personal experience of feeling quite abandoned. What's your view on his position? Well,
he's doing a very difficult job, in fairness to him. My personal view is perhaps he's not doing the best job of it. I'll be diplomatic about it, shall we say. As regards my own situation, all the secular safeguarding authorities have cleared me entirely, but the Church of England is ongoing with a safeguarding problem because I taught Church of England teaching in a Church of England school. They treat me as a safeguarding risk. Justin Welby has done nothing to help me. So if he's watching, and maybe he is, you know, it's not too late to step in and help my situation. But fundamentally, you know, he gave a speech in between me giving my sermon and the story going public a few years ago. He gave a speech talking about religious freedom and how important it is and vital in a modern society. And yet when it came to my story being told, because in a sense I'm on the wrong side of things as far as he's concerned, I guess, not a word of support, not a whisper from anyone in the Church of England's hierarchy for someone simply saying, you may accept the Church of England's own teaching. And I can't quite see how he can square that in his own head, but you know, he would have to answer to that himself, I guess. I
mean, the irony is that, though this is obviously through no fault of your own, the Church of England has recently baptised people who have gone on to not just be referred to Prevent, but actually commit acts of terrorism. Meanwhile, you were referred to Prevent for essentially teaching, Christian teaching. Look, thank you very, very much. I know that was short and sweet, but I do hope to get you back on, and I hope that you feel heard for what you've said there. That is, of course, Dr Bernard Randal. Now, a Trent College spokesperson has previously said Trent College is an inclusive community where we are proud of our commitment to support the well-being of everyone. We want every single pupil to be safe and feel understood here. Well, there we go. I'm going to get the thoughts now of my